Shalom, family. It's Minister Sarah with the Sarah Blessing Ministries. Can we talk for a minute? Let's talk. Pull up. Let's talk about your ex. Yes, your ex partner, your ex girlfriend, if you're a man, your ex boyfriend, if you're a woman, your ex. Let's talk about it. Stop checking for your ex. Stop. Just stop. And I know it's easier said than done. I know it can feel hard to do, but let me tell you what's happening. If you had any type of sexual activity, any type of sexual relations with your ex, the two of you are spiritually married. The two of you are spiritually married. Yes, wedlock, bondage. The two of you are married in the spiritual realm. So what happens is, even if you didn't physically go to the courthouse or have a marriage certificate, when you have sex, spiritually, you are married. So you have a spiritual bond, a spiritual tie with your ex. And for some of you, that's the reason why you're running back to them. They're running back to you. And it's a cycle, a toxic cycle, because that person is an ex for a reason. And what happens is when people get into relationships, romantic relationships usually, is they're trying to fulfill a need that they have. They see a person that's very attractive to them in some kind of way. The person, they might have a really bright spirit and their aura is bright and you can see it and you're attracted to them. They might make friends easily. People are drawn to them. They're attractive in every way, the way they walk, the way they talk. Just, it seems like they breeze through life. People are going to be attracted to that. And so you get with this person and they have all these traits and qualities that seem so attractive. And it seems like if you meet up with them, it's going to fulfill something in you. You won't be lonely, you won't be bored, and you'll have some connectedness with the person. You'll have some affection, some attention. And who doesn't love attention and affection? But what happens is, if we are not married to the person, it's a problem in the spiritual realm, because marriage is actually designed to be between God. You're married to God first. All of us, God's people, are married to God. And so we're married to Him first. And then when we get married to our spouse, that spouse comes into union with the Lord, your spouse, and yourself. That's the union. It's a bond between you, all of you. And what happens is, when you hook up with somebody that you're not married to, there's no spiritual covering. In fact, there's a curse that's released upon your life. Yes, because it's a sin. Anything that does not go with the commandments of God, if it goes against the word of God, if it goes against the commandments, it brings a curse, because sin is literally death. Anything that you do that is not sanctioned by God, that is not under the laws, statutes, and commandments that He has told us to keep, if you do something that is against that, it brings death. Spiritual death. Death happens in the spirit first, and then it shows up, it manifests into the physical realm where we can see it. So what happens is, when you're not married to somebody, you are forming a covenant with death. You're forming a covenant with the underworld. And so think of it like this. Instead of it being a marriage between you, God, and your spouse, it's not a marriage, because you're just out there with some random, just doing whatever. And so now you have formed a covenant, a spiritual bond with yourself, that random, and the devil. Yes, I got to say it like this, because that's what actually happens. Because the devil can now wreak havoc in your life because you're living a life of sin. And so now everything that you hate is going to start to be manifested through that person that you thought would love you. The love that you thought you would have between you and that person, turns to hate. It manifests to hate right in front of you. No matter how they were acting in the beginning, when they were acting like their representative, that wasn't even the real them anyway. When you first meet a person, you're meeting the representative. So you're not even meeting the real character and nature of that person, because they're going to pretend with you for a while. They're going to pretend like they're everything that you want and everything that you've dreamed of. And so at first you're going to see the representative. But what happens is they can't hide it for long, and the real them is going to show up. And so they're going to start acting like their real self, which is somebody that does not love you. So when you're not married to somebody, really, y'all are just using each other. That's really what it is. You were lonely and you wanted affection. They were probably lonely and wanted affection too, and they wanted your body and you wanted their body. And whatever other needs that you felt like they could fill, that's why y'all got together. That's why y'all hooked up. But the problem with that is both of y'all have flaws and problems and challenges and spiritual issues that those are going to clash, because it's not honorable by God. In fact, it's the spirit of rejection. When you link up with somebody that you're not married to and have sex with them, what's happening is the spirit of rejection is being brought up through that relationship. I know you don't want to think about it or talk about it like that, but that's really what it is. It is the spirit of rejection that's going to manifest in that relationship. This can manifest as the person, okay, at first in the beginning, they were giving you all this love and attention and affection, and all of a sudden you sleep with them, and now they're ghosting you. You can't get them to return your calls, or they're hot and cold. 1 minute they're hot with you when they're with you, and then when they leave, when they go home, they act like they don't even know you. Spirit of rejection. That's the spirit of rejection popping up with its ugly head. Or you sleep with somebody, and then right after y'all sleep together, y'all could be in the same bed right after it happens. That person acts like they don't even know you. They go cold. Suddenly they got to leave. They remembered 100 things that they got to do, and none of them involves you. So they take off. They're gone. Or that person does decide to stay with you, and they're still pretending, because while they're with you, they're hitting up every other person that they could possibly get with and sleeping with them whenever they're not with you. Spirit of rejection. Or that person, maybe let's say y'all got together and y'all slept together before y'all were married. And then finally you convince that person that, you two belong together, and you decide to get married. That spirit of rejection is going to follow you into that marriage, because it started off wrong. It started off in lust, because the spirit of lust is what bonded y'all together in the first place, because it wasn't love. It was straight up lust. And so now the spirit of lust and rejection is going to follow you into that marriage, and it's the foundation of that marriage is lust and sin and rejection, and that's what you're going to experience in various ways in that marriage. It's going to show up in all different kind of ways. It might be mommy or daddy issues. If it's a woman, she might run to her daddy every time there's an issue with you and never talk to you about it. Or if it's a man, every time y'all fight, y'all have issues, he's running to mommy, telling her everything and not telling you what's going on in the relationship. And so you don't really know that there's a problem with him, because he's running to his family, his friends, his sister, his brother, his cousin, his buddies. He's running to them, telling them all about the problems. Or for the woman, she's running to her auntie, her uncle, her niece, her nephew, and she's telling them, her cousin, she's telling them the problems in her marriage, and she's not talking to her spouse. And so he don't know that there's a problem with him. He thinks everything's fine. It's going to show up some kind of way, because the spirit of rejection is present in that relationship, and it's going to follow you the whole time. Pretty much the relationship is cursed. And so what you have to learn how to do is let go of your ex. Your ex is never going to be the one. That's why they're the ex. And so the longer you go back and forth in that toxic energy with your ex, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. You don't know whether you're coming or going. You don't know whether they're coming or going. You don't know if they're going to call you or ghost you. You don't know if they're sleeping with this one or sleeping with that one. You don't know what they're doing. You're checking their social media. You're driving by their house. Why are you doing drive-bys by their house? Let them go. And I know it's hard. I have been there myself. I know it's hard that when you break up with somebody, you want to check up on them. You want to see what's going on. You want to see if they're thinking about you. The best thing that you can do for yourself, and I mean, you need to take out a notebook or your notepad and take this note down. Write this down right now. Find one thing in your life, just one thing in your life, and get laser focused on that and forget about your ex. You need something else to focus on besides them. It could be working out, get you a new workout routine, go walking around your neighborhood every day at a certain time, read a book, and then after you're done, read another book, and then after that, read another book. Find something else to do besides obsess over your ex. Get a new circle of friends. Find a new hobby. Figure it out. Do something else healthy other than thinking about your ex, worrying about what they're doing. The best thing that you can do for yourself is go get a life. And I mean, literally. I want you to be the one that got away. Okay? I need you to level up so hard. I need you to level up so hard that you don't even remember the version of you that was attracted to your ex. Oh my God. Did you hear what I said? I need you to level up so good. I need you to level up so hard that if your ex walked by you today, you would be like, you would be so turned off and so disgusted by who they are that you will never go back to the vomit of that relationship, that toxic, hot mess of a relationship that you left because you finally got some sense, you finally got your mind together to get out of there. Don't go back to that vomit. Don't backtrack to something that's whack, okay? Let it go. Get yourself a life that is so rich and fulfilling with activity and purpose and beingness that you don't even care what your ex is doing. Somebody brings up your ex and you're like, who? What? I don't care. Don't even talk to me about that person. I don't care. Matter of fact, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? What's for dinner? I think I'm gonna get my nails done today. What shoes am I wearing today? What am I gonna be doing tomorrow after my walk? You need to be so focused on your life, like you're watching a movie of your life on a movie screen and you don't care about nothing else that's going on. That's what you need to do. Let's get into some scripture. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Thou, O Lord, remainest forever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore dost thou forget us forever, and forsake us so long time? Turn thou us unto thee, O Lord, and we shall be turned. Renew our days as of old. But thou hast utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us. Lamentations 5:21. Let's talk about this. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Oh my gosh. Them dating streets is treacherous. It's like a wild pack of dogs running around out there in them dating streets. Ain't nothing out there in them streets. Trust me on that. I've done the research, okay? Before I found out my true identity as an Israelite and chosen person of God, the Lord allowed me to live however I wanted to live. And after I left one of my exes who was doing treacherous aggressions against me and treacherous offenses against me, I was going to get my get back. And so I decided, okay, he going to be out there doing whatever. He's not going to take my energy and give it to somebody else. Oh, no, that's what's not going to happen. So I went out there to reclaim some of my energy back. And I got it back, but that's not how I got it back. I got it back by keeping the commandments. But anyways, the Lord allowed me to experience whatever I wanted to experience out there in them streets. And I'm telling you, you don't want to be out there. You don't even want to be single out there dating. Just hang it up. Don't nobody want to be out there with these randoms. Let it go. And the Lord caught me real quick before I could get too far out there. And it only took a few relationships before the Lord was like, hey, come here. He pulled me back and it was like, get over here, sit down. You sit down. The Lord sat me down. He was like, sit down. Get it together. The Lord wouldn't even let me be out there like that. I was trying to be out there because I was going to prove to my ex that he was not about to take my energy from me and give it to other people. The Lord didn't want me to be wasting my energy on no random. So he snatched me out of them streets, y'all. Because I tried to be out there. The Lord was like, sit down. I said YOLO. The Lord was like, no. Go sit down. That's how the Lord, he did it gently, but he sat me down. Because the Lord could have really blown out my spot, but he didn't do it. He did it gently between me and him. And so nobody really knew what I was going through. The Lord just sat me down. He was like, sit down. Because he knew I would listen. And so I'm telling you, going out there in them streets it's like going from dog to dog to dog to dog. I'm talking about men and women, because the spirit of Jezebel it's in both men and women. Oh, trust and believe. Not just women are Jezebels. Men are Jezebels as well. And also the spirit of Delilah is out there as well, which is where a woman, it could be a woman or a man, because that spirit could be a woman or a man, where a person will get with you and they'll find out all your secrets, like the things that make you successful or beautiful or attractive or charismatic. They'll find out your secrets, the things that make you you, and try to steal those from you. And some people will try to take over your personality and be you and just run off with the next person. It's crazy out there. I'm telling you, if you want to save yourself from heartache and pain and years of problems, just stay out of them dating streets. Stay out of it, and you need to turn to the Lord.
And listen, man, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna give you a couple of reasons why to never take someone back, especially after they left you for someone else. I'm gonna give you reasons why you should never take someone back, especially after leaving you for someone else. Number one reason: you don't know what they are bringing back to you. You don't know what they are bringing back. If no other reason is important, or if no other reason makes sense, this one right here should make sense. You'd never know what they are bringing back, especially when they come back with their disappointment because they assume the grass wasn't greener, or when they realize that the grass wasn't greener. You don't know what they are bringing back to you. And number one, and also you have to understand why they left you in the first place. They left you because you wasn't good enough. You wasn't doing it for them. You wasn't, making them happy. You wasn't the one, and they left you thinking that the other person that they were going to was the right one for them. So I'm telling you all, man, you don't know what they are bringing back. Some people bring back spirits that you don't understand. Some bring back energies that will affect your health, affect your mind, affect you mentally, emotionally. Some of them have been with people. Them people, you don't know what they're doing, you don't know what they have, you don't know what they carry. And when they come back with that stuff, it's hell, man. It's hell break loose, and then they're giving it to you. Now you running around confused, don't know what's going on with you. Why are you feeling angry? Why are you feeling sad? Why are you emotional? Why are you feeling jealous? Why are you feeling all these emotions? You have to understand, man, this is what happens. So this is one reason. You don't know what they are bringing back. People bring back all kind of stuff. They bring back comparisons. Comparison. They will compare you to the last person. They will compare you all different type of ways. Sexually, physical features. They will compare how you look. They will compare the way you speak and the way you treat them. They will compare, and so then you will never have peace. And then one thing that would happen, that you will always question, you will always feel insecure, you will always feel like you're not living up or meeting up some type of level. You will always wonder why they're coming back to you. You will never find peace. Never take people back when they left you for somebody else.
Stop going back to your ex. Stop going back to your ex. Stop going back to your ex. No, you don't need to get your clothes. No, you don't need to get your charger. No, you don't need to meet them for a final conversation. No, you don't need to see how they are. No, it doesn't matter if they're going through something. You don't have to be their safe spot. No, it doesn't matter just because you're the only person that they can talk to. No. No, stop. You're naughty, you're bad. You said you're done and you're not done. Stop lying. It's a sin. Sin, let's go to, okay.
And I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. The more chances you give a man, the more desperate you look. And I don't care if that man is your husband, your baby daddy, your high school sweetheart. If you keep forgiving that man, he is going to play in your face again. He knew when he did it, it could possibly break you two up, but he didn't care. He did it anyway because he thought it was worth the risk. I don't care how grand the gesture was. I don't care if he showed up at your job with roses, if he's been calling you and DMing you and writing you and emailing you. And you're like, I can't believe how many ways he tries to get in touch with me. Like, he's trying so hard. Don't be flattered by that. That man is still going to play in your face. I don't care how many roses he brought to your job. Some of these men you are entertaining are on their third and fourth second chance. And 9 times out of 10, you forgave him for something that he would never forgive you for, and you know that. He doesn't care if he had to spend money to get you back. He doesn't care if he had to swallow his pride to get you back. He will do whatever it takes now that he has to get you back. But he will mess up again because he'll just do that same thing all over again. He knows that you could be talked into forgiveness. A man who genuinely loves you is not going to repeatedly hurt you.
You need to turn to the Lord every time you feel lonely, because it's idolatry when you turn to a person and try to make them your everything. That's why it's never going to work with your ex, ever. It's never going to work with them. And when you try to make them your everything, or even the person that brings you comfort, they're going to disappoint you every time. Every time. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. John 14:26. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Psalms 46:1. Listen, stay away from your toxic ex. Now, I'm not talking about people who have met their kingdom spouse, because some of us have actually been in a relationship with our kingdom spouse. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everybody else but that person who is your ex. Stay away from those people, those toxic exes that will literally rotate in and out of your life like a revolving door if you let them. And they will only be there to use and abuse you for the rest of your life if you let them. That's why you got to stay away from your exes.
Wish him the best and never talk to him again. How many chances do you have to give him? How many? The same man that you're envisioning in your mind is not the same man that's standing in front of you. You're losing sleep. You're losing your dignity. What else are you trying to lose at this point? Is it worth it? Really? It's time. It's time. Clock is ticking. Wish him the best. And that's all you can do. Never talk to him again.
Okay, so you keep going back to this toxic relationship and you are wondering why your self-worth is so low and why it's compromised. Because you keep on going back to a situation where there are too many highs and lows, too many ups and downs, too much conflict, and your needs are being unmet. Each time you go back to that toxic situation, you are devaluing yourself, and you cannot point the finger on the other person because it's you. This is the reason why your self-perception is distorted, why you see yourself in such an unhealthy way, such a dysfunctional way. This is also the reason why your self-esteem is in critical condition, and of course why your self-worth is the way that it is. And now you're feeling like you're unworthy, feeling like you're not deserving of love, like people don't love you, you're not deserving of respect. Now, I'm not taking away from the simple fact that other people may have done things to impact the way you view yourself and the way you feel about yourself. I understand this. I'm talking about if you allow yourself to be a revolving door, or if you allow yourself to go back to those toxic situations. Who can you blame but yourself? You have to start looking at the mirror and point the finger at yourself, because you're the person who's not breaking the pattern. You're hurting yourself. You can't change them. As much as we want to change people, and I completely understand, but you cannot change them. That is their job. But what you can change is you. You can change how you respond. You can change what you do. You can change how you behave. You can change the situations that you put yourself in. All of that can be changed within you.
Let me tell you something. If my ex is sitting down by the phone, waiting for me to call, thinking that I'm going to want them back, thinking that I'm going to work things out with them, then you are sad. I ain't calling back no ex. Right? There is a reason why you are an ex. The hurt that you've put me through before, the pain that you have put me through before, the embarrassment that you have put me through before, I don't want to feel that anymore. I'm not an idiot. Right? So if you're waiting for me to call or thinking that there is 1 in a billion chance of us getting back together, the answer is no. Right? I'm on to new greener pastures right now. Get what I'm saying? I am not looking back. Right? I know where the grave is, and I'm not going back there. I know what I've been through while dating you, and I don't want to feel that ever again. I'm holding my head up and I'm looking to the skies and hoping for better days. But you won't be a part of those better days. Remember me tell you that.
I'm going to give you the best big sister advice that I could possibly give you, and 10 reasons why you should not go back to your ex. That closure you want, that's just your ego begging for a rewrite. You miss the fire, but you forget how cold it left you after. You're not their emotional support human. You're not their comfort while they look for something better. Because they didn't say sorry when it mattered. They only said it when they thought you were slipping away. They weren't your person. They were your pattern. Your body craved them, but your spirit never did. They miss your access, but not your heart. Don't ever confuse presence with pursuit. God didn't bring you out of the storm just for you to go dance in the rain again. Because you didn't survive that goodbye just to get dragged back in by a hello. You can still love them from afar. Just don't love them from your future. Hope that helps.
Have to choose you. You have to choose you. And no, he's not going to change. You prayed enough about it. You asked around about it. You cried enough about it. It's not going to change. No matter what he says, no matter how much those 2 weeks seems like everything is brand new, it always goes back to how it used to be. And there you are crying again. You're only holding yourself back. Life gets better once you let go. And yes, you're going to have to go through this eerie part where you're in the middle of it. It seems like you're like in the middle of the ocean and it feels like you're drowning because you're no longer where you used to be comfortable. But when I tell you, you learn how to swim in the deep. Trust me. In the middle is where you meet God. God is the one that's going to help you heal from every heartbreak that you have experienced. God is going to help you get through that moment of depression. Seek him.
Listen, that person has been a narcissist all their life. They've been toxic all their life. They've been unable to keep friends all their life. So of course they've learned how to manipulate and disguise who they are long enough for you to fall in love with them. And every time they show you who they truly are, you don't believe them. You keep going back to who they showed you, they representatives, and saying that's who they truly are. Instead of that person you seeing right now, every single day disrespecting you, neglecting you, believe a person when they show you their true color.
When God frees you and delivers you from that narcissistic relationship, don't go back. I'm going to say it again, just in case you don't get it. When God frees you and delivers you from that narcissistic relationship, do not go back because you're going to regret it. You think it was bad the first time. You think it was bad before you left. Wait until you come back. If you call yourself leaving, walking away from a narcissistic individual and eventually finding yourself back into their arms, the reason why you left or why you left is not going to matter. They are going to make you pay for that. I don't care if those words never come out their mouth. Narcissists are vindictive and they are full of revenge and anger. If you walk away from them, you are their supply and they lose their supply and you have the audacity to want them again or go back to them, oh, they're going to accept you, but you are going to pay. So again, when God frees you from that narcissistic relationship, you fight with everything in you not to return back to them. Go no contact, erase their number, go into prayer, go into fasting. You fight with everything in you to not return back to your Pharaoh, to not return back to Egypt. You fight with everything in you to stay free if God delivers you from a narcissistic relationship. Don't make it so you did all that crying and begging and fasting to God. He came in, rescued you, and you went right back. Don't make it so God grabbed you out of the grips of the enemy and you end up right back where God rescued you from. When God frees you, you fight with everything in you to stay free. Do not return to the place of bondage anymore. You can do it. I believe in you. And you can do it because I'm rooting for you. You can do it. Fight for your freedom. It's so worth it.
I pray that you don't run back to what's toxic because you are afraid of being alone. I pray that you don't run back to the ex, the people who hurt you, betrayed you, lied, who didn't respect you because you are afraid of being alone. And a lot of people run back to unhealthy relationships, toxic ex, people with problematic behaviors because they are afraid of being alone. They're afraid of being single. Right? A lot of people, they want the idea of having someone, the idea of having a relationship, even if it means the lack of respect for themselves. When you go back to someone who is toxic or unhealthy, it says a lot about you. It says that you don't care about who you are. You don't care about yourself and you don't have no self-respect because going back to what's toxic and unhealthy is self-sabotage. That's what it is. Every time you want to go back to someone who's toxic, someone who's unhealthy, someone who didn't treat you right, someone who didn't love you correctly, who wasn't there emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually, they didn't feed you or give you what you want, that is self-sabotage. I pray you don't run back to people because you are afraid of being alone.
Hey, listen, I got a message. When God removes certain people out your life, that toxic relationship, those narcissistic family members, those disloyal friendships, God said those people will try to come back in your life. And the reason being is because they seen you prosper. It's because you're doing God's work. You are doing God's purpose. You are growing for the better. You are becoming the best version of yourself. And those people that was once in your life, they were sent by the enemy to stop God's purpose, to stop your destiny. But what's for you is for you. It cannot be stopped. Whatever God has for you cannot be stopped. But at the same time, your blessing could be paused if you allow those people that God removed to come back in your life. So God says they will try to make a second comeback, but do not let them come back in your life because God have promises for you. God have a kingdom spouse for you. God have a kingdom friendship for you. God have kingdom business for you. God have so much more for you. But if you allow people to come back in your life, how can God bless you? Because where God gonna take you and elevate you and bless you, He don't want those people around you. That's why He removed those people out your life. And you have to understand those people are bad company. And you know what they say, bad company corrupts good character. No matter how good of a man you are, how good of a woman you are, if you keep bad company around you, you cannot prosper, you cannot grow. That's why God removed them out your life. God is going to elevate you and take it to another level. So at the end of the day, do not let these people come back because the enemy know God is taking you far. The enemy know God is elevating you. But at the end of the day, he's going to try to send those people back that God removed to stop the destiny, to stop the purpose, to stop the promise that God had for you. But at the end of the day, you're in God's hand because you don't operate in the spirit of fear. You operate in the spirit of love and a sound mind. So you have nothing to worry about. And continue letting God bless you and continue staying faithful and continue trusting God. May God bless y'all. Hey, listen up, I got a message. When God removed that toxic relationship out of your life, those no good narcissist family members out of your life, that no good backstabbing friendship out of your life, you got to keep that door shut. Because where God is going to take you and elevate you, He don't want those people around you. So if they knock on the door, make sure you don't open it.
Going back is only going to set you back. I don't know who this message is for today, but I feel like I was led to pick up this camera and tell somebody today, do not go back. What is back there is a distraction. What is back there is going to try to derail you from what you are called to be doing. So, going back is not an option for this season and for this year. See, the enemy wants to try to present you with things that are from your past because you are in this season of transition into your breakthrough. Between where you were and where you are going is where you are. You are not who you were. You are not what you were. You are not identified with the things of your past, but you are definitely not at the promised land. And so you're going into the promised land. You're walking into what you are supposed to be doing. You're walking into what God has for you, but you're not right at the place where you're supposed to be, right? So you're in this crossroads, and that is where the enemy speaks the loudest. And he tries to get you to romanticize what your past life was, even if it was hell, even if it was the man that wasn't treating you right. So you start to get lonely during this season of going into what you are called to do, because sometimes that looks like it's just you doing it. Or sometimes it looks like, your phone is dry, and you start romanticizing, dang, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I'm supposed to be going back to something in my past. Maybe God does call us to forgive because your phone wasn't dry, because you were getting the text and the calls. People were coming to see about you. Now you're in this space where you're going into what God has for you, and nobody's hitting your phone up. Nobody's hitting you up. Nobody's messaging you. Nobody's calling you as much. The people of Israel were going into the promised land. They started saying, it was better for us to be back there. At least we were fed this and that. At least we were given this or that. They didn't even look at the fact that they were being abused, mistreated, and all the things that Pharaoh was inflicting on them, the suffering, the enslavement, the pain that they were in. But because they were going into this newness, the unknown, which is scary. Change can be scary, right? But because they were going into this newness and this unknown place, they began to romanticize what they came from, even though what they endured was horrible. And so I hear that for some of you, you are romanticizing, or you're beginning to want to romanticize what was, even though what you endured in those situations, in the relationship, in the friendships, whatever you left, was horrific, was something that you shouldn't have been putting up with anyway. God is saying it's going to get lonely. Your phone is going to get dry, but trust me through the process, because that is where you need to be pressing into the Lord even more. And when you get to the promised land, then you'll realize, I am so glad I didn't look back. You're going to be so glad that you didn't look back. The future version of yourself is going to be so glad that you didn't look back. But I come to say today, do not look back, for what is back there is not going to help you go forward. It's going to derail you, it's going to distract you, and it's going to pull you back into the life of sin that you were trying to escape from anyway. God has so much better for you in this new year, in this season, that you cannot even afford to look back. Let's look at the Bible when it says that Lot's wife looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. We hear that story a lot, and a lot of people use that as an example to not go back to your past. But that is a great example to not go back to your past, because she was given warning and instruction from the Lord to go forward, to get out of that place, because he was about to destroy that city. And she, being so connected to what was, looked back, and because of her disobedience, it is blatant disobedience when you look back when God is telling you to go forward. Right now, there is a refining process that God has you in, that he is trying to create a new identity in you. And he is trying to shed that old weight off of you. And so we can't not be disobedient. We have to be obedient to what God is doing. We have to be refined in this process, because on the other side of that is going to be breakthrough. It's going to be this new identity. It's going to be things that don't even resonate in the past within you, right? You're not even going to look the same. And so in this season, in this process that God has you in, you must continue to look forward and set your eyes on the promised land. Yes, your life back then may have been popping. You may have had the messages, the phone calls, people coming to check about you, wanting to be around you because of what you offer to them. The benefit of being around you was just a blessing, but God had to remove those people because their access into your life was causing you pain, problems, distress, and unnecessary warfare. And God is doing something new in you. He says, therefore, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. You have to be in alignment with what God is doing in your life right now, and that requires you not going back to the past. It may look romanticized. The enemy makes it look like that for a reason. He wants you to think back to your past relationship with that man or that woman and say, hey man, even though, we argued a lot or we were toxic, man, I miss her or him because, man, what we had was just special. He'll puff that up in your mind to make it look like it was just awesome and it was just the best thing. It was the best relationship you ever had, even though you endured abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, them calling you names, them shutting down on you, not knowing how to communicate and talk to you throughout the problems you guys were having. Like these are the little things, them causing you to sin. Look at that. When you think about your past, look at what you were delivered from. Look at what you overcame in those situations, and not the good things, because those good things are just memories at this point now. The bad things are what caused you to go into this pressing of going into the promised land in the first place. This is what the Lord is saying. No longer will you identify with the past and what you used to do. Where you are going is going to cause you to be a different version of you. It's going to cause you to have a new mindset. You're going to have a new heart, a new clean, renewed outlook and perspective on life, and that is going to require you to go forward and to not look back. I pray that this message blesses someone today. Do not look back, because what is back there is not going to help you into what God is calling you into today. In Jesus' name, amen.
It's time to let them go. Seriously. You don't need them. All right. I know there's a lot of hurt, and there's this feeling of being discarded and abandoned, being let down by this person you invested so much into, and now they're kind of acting like you never existed, like you didn't have all these deep moments of being close and intimate, and maybe they're also starting to date or show off and act like, they're going to move on without you. And so this could be a real blow to the ego, because you start thinking, what was wrong with me? Was I not good enough? Why don't they even remember our connection? What you have to understand is, like, if you truly love someone, then you want the best for them. And if your ex thinks that the best for them is to go date other people and go find someone else, allow them to do this, because a lot of times if you cared about them, they're likely not right. There's no one else out there that can replace you. There's no one else out there that made all the sacrifices for them like you did, but they have to kind of experience this for themselves. It's kind of like the example of, telling a kid, like, don't touch the stove, and sometimes they don't actually learn the lesson until they touch it and they get burned. So use the breakup as an opportunity for your ex to learn a lesson, for them to realize your value without you having to beg or chase them, right? The purest form of love is to allow the other person to be who they choose to be without any pressure or expectations from you.
Take this as your sign and confirmation not to go back. Whatever, whoever you left behind, it was for a reason. God separated you for a reason. God called you out of those places, those rooms, those relationships, those situations, because he has better for you. He has more for you. He heard conversations you didn't. He saw things that happened and occurred behind your back that people want to act like never happened. He knows what's best for you, and he has your best interests at heart. So whatever God has pruned from your life, whatever he has taken away from you, whatever he has removed, let it stay where it is. When you walk into this next season, when you walk into the thing that God has for you, the thing that he's been building up for you, you're only going to want people, places, things attached to you that are truly for your benefit, that truly see your value and want you to grow and want to expand and expound your light. Anything that's hindering you or doing the opposite has to stay in the past.
You want to know something? You will get over him. I, for the longest time, was like so sure. Like, I would have bet everything that I owned on this relationship that I had working out. And it was so bad for me. Looking back on it, like, I literally used to lay on my living room floor and just sob. Like, not the cute kind of like, oh, like, I'm sad. No, like, my whole body was rejecting this man, and I refused to let it go because I just couldn't see past him. And let me tell you something, like, it took the most dramatic exit for him to rip him out of my life forever. And I think that that's what it would have taken for me to really wake up. Looking back on it now, we're always like, oh, you'll get over him, you'll get over him. I'm like, no, I won't. I will never get over him. That's all my limit. But now, baby, you will get over him. And take it from me, because I could not see it. But love should not be a constant uphill battle. Like, yes, there will be ups and downs, but like at the end of the day, like, you should feel safe with your partner. You should feel nurtured and loved, and like so secure in their love for you. And if you're not getting that, if you're always on a break or you're in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out, like you're in or you're out. But I just want to reassure you, like, don't go back. Don't go back because it's what you're used to. Don't go back because it was comfortable. Don't go back because you think that you're never going to get anything else, because you will. And you deserve more than that.
Y'all, stop allowing people to spin the block back on you. All right, straight up. Like, unless you really about that toxic life, you know what I mean? You unbothered, whatever. All right, I ain't talking to you. But if you somebody that I'm talking to that is a hopeless romantic, you want a real relationship, connection, real love, and you letting your toxic ex come back in your life and spin the block on you, like, it's not gonna work the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, 10th time. It's not gonna work. It's gonna keep being the same thing over and over again. Like, y'all gotta learn how to really let go of your trauma bonds. A lot of y'all are not having successful relationships and even happy lives because you allow people to come back into your life. And these people know that they can come back into your life because you always give them the opportunity to spin the block. You always give them an opportunity to come back in. They always feel like they got, you give them access. You know what I mean? Because you ain't stood on business. Stand on business. Always.
Anybody that you're not married to, that you're in relationship with as far as sexually or any type of sexual activity, is a person who does not love you and who is only using you. I don't care what they say. I don't care where they take you. I don't care who they introduce you to. I don't care what they buy you. That person is only using you. I don't care how they gas you up with their words, how sweet they are to you, how nice they are to you. That person is only using you. And I'm telling you this to put you on game because I love you. I would only tell you this because I love you and I want to protect you from going through years and years and years of pain and heartbreak over and over again like a broken record. I'm telling you because I love you. Find something else in your life to get interested in so that you can finally heal your heart and all the areas of you that are attracted to that toxic person. Work on healing yourself. Work on your own flaws. Anything inside of you that is attracted to that other person, your ex, is a flaw. You need to take out a notebook or a piece of paper or something and jot down everything in your ex that you're attracted to. Those are the flaws you need to work on. Yes, everything that's drawing you to your ex, the traits, the qualities, the characteristics that you're drawn to in them, chances are it's toxic because obviously they're an ex. It didn't work out, and it's usually for several reasons, but there's a connection existing between you based on those traits, those characteristics. You need to identify whatever those are and start to work on those within yourself so that you are no longer ever again in life attracted to somebody like your exes. The work has to begin with you. You know what it starts with? It starts with a decision. It starts with deciding, I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm better than that. I'm not going back to that. And it's over. You have to decide in your mind because your ex is not going to decide for you. They will keep fading in and out of your life over and over again if you let them. You have to be the one to put your foot down and say, don't come over here. I left. It's over. I'm done. Don't come over here. Let me tell you something about me. When I leave a relationship, when I'm done, I'm done. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't look me up. Don't even ask about me to my family and friends. I've left the city, the state, the country. I got a new identity. I changed my name. It's over. I'm done. I'm never again in life will you ever see this. Ever. I'm done. Done. You need to level up so hard that your ex can't even find you. They're looking everywhere for you, but they can't find you. If they can spin the block, you're not healed yet. If they can hit you up on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or FaceTime, if they can hit you up anywhere, you got some work to do. There's some places inside of you that need to be healed because they're pulling on your heartstrings. They're pulling on that soul tie between you and them, and you need to cut those ties. You need to cut those ties so they can never get linked back to you. I'm telling you because I love you. Because if you don't cut it off, they will drain the ever-loving life out of you until you are nothing, until you are like dust. There'll be nothing left of you if you keep going back to that toxic ex, because they will drain you out like a battery on E, a battery with acid leaking out of it because it's done. It's like garbage. They will drain you out if you let them. Don't let them. This has been a public service announcement. It has been a warning. It has been a quick therapy session. It can be a new start, a start to a new life where we're not focusing on exes anymore. We're leaving the past behind us and we're moving forward into a new life, a life that's positive, a life that matters, a life that's God-centered instead of ex-centered. Every time you feel lonely, turn to the Lord. Cry if you need to, get it all out. Talk to the Lord like he's your best friend because he can be. The Bible says, draw near to me and I will draw near to you. That's God's promise to us. So reach out to the Lord instead of to your ex. Every time you feel that urge, every time you want to pick up the phone and call your ex, pick up your Bible. Read some scripture. Say a prayer. Cry out to the Lord. Call out to the Lord. Sing praises to the Lord. Worship him. Dance unto the Lord. Do all of these things to create a connection to the Lord, absolutely, for sure. And also to walk away from your ex and leave your ex in the dust now and forevermore. Okay? We are done with the exes. Done. So take all that energy that you were given to your ex and redirect that to the Lord. The Bible says that God is a jealous God. So God should have been getting all that energy anyway. So give that energy to the Lord. Put that energy where it actually belongs and give it to the Lord. And watch him turn your life around and transform it like something that you've never seen before. I know because he's done that for me. I never thought that there's a particular ex that I never thought I would get over. Never thought I would. Never thought I would. It took years. It definitely took years. And I had a lot of healing to do and still do. But you know what? One thing about me, I do not miss that relationship at all. I don't miss who I was. I don't miss the version of me that I was when I was with that person. I am a completely different woman now, a woman that is no longer and never will ever be attracted to that person that I left. That old relationship is dead to me. I left it behind. And I'm never going back. If I did not know that I had a kingdom spouse, I wouldn't be interested in relationships at all. Because when I leave and I say I'm done, I'm really, really done. Forever. Forever. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do when your ex calls you? What you gonna do when you get that text from your ex? What you doing? You up? What you gonna do when you get that text? You better call the Lord. You better have a hobby or something else to do other than hitting up that old ex, that old flame that should really be extinguished. All right, well, I think I'm done preaching in the church of no more exes. And I'm praying for you. I'm praying that you have the Spirit. I'm praying that you have a measure of the Holy Spirit that allows you to break every toxic bond that you have ever formed or joined up with, and every covenant that you've made outside of the will of God. I'm praying that you have the strength to walk away from those and to walk into a life of serving the Lord with your whole heart, with all your energy and focus. And that you stay on the righteous path and be in the perfect will of God that He has created you for. That's my prayer for you. And until next time, shalom and be blessed.